You are watching Stripped Down, Saskatchewan's one-hour local music showcase, the show that brings the venue to you in the comfort of your own living room. I'm your host, Curtis Anderson, and tonight we got a really special guest in the Shaw Studios. She needs no introduction, but she's getting one anyway. The best part of Stripped Down for me is the positive feedback I get from the artists in the community. And it's one thing when someone comes up to me on the street and tells me they're a big fan of Stripped Down, but it's something else altogether when someone comes up to me on the street, tells me they're a big fan of Stripped Down, and it's Theresa Sokyrka. Ladies and gentlemen, Theresa Sokyrka.
I wonder if I cheated all the things that have been mistreated in your life. And maybe I just planted a view that could have been quite slanted. How can I win? You travel more than me, have seen so many things I've seen and so much more. I realize I never really knew about you anymore. And you're waiting by the door, and I can see from a mile away your roots have thorns. Waiting by the door. I'll probably never be to as many places I've seen in my mind. And I know that if I sit here and grin, then maybe it'll be alright. Though I know my story will go well with all your glory, I feel it just the same. I realize I never really knew about that anyway. And you're waiting by the door, and I can see from a mile away your roots have thorns. Waiting by the door, and I can see from a mile away your roots have thorns. Waiting by the door.
Theresa Sokyrka
Haha.
on Stripped Down
Hi,
tonight.
Curtis.
Wow. Wow. Everybody be quiet. Do you hear that? Does everybody hear that? That's the sound of this show getting cred. Thanks for coming on Stripped Down tonight. How are you doing?
Cheers, I'm awesome.
I haven't talked to you in like almost a year.
Yeah, it's been since the Prairie North thing
That's right.
at McNally, I think.
And already I'm learning something. I've been mispronouncing your name all this time.
Oh no,
Sokyrka.
that's perfect right
Okay.
there.
It's not Sokyrka, as I've been saying it.
You know, it's all right if you say whatever.
Okay. TS it is for the rest of the show. I'd like to
That'll
point
do.
out right away, you have lots of water, but that's for no other reason than the fact that you are under the weather today.
Yeah.
And you still toughed it up and came on Stripped Down.
Yeah, well,
So is
you
it
know,
the flu?
just for you, buddy. Yeah, just a bit of a cold, you know. It's going around right now.
Crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. So what's been going on in your life since I talked to you last at McNally Robinson?
Well, there's been lots since then.
Okay.
Like I'm moving to Toronto at the end of the month.
Just throwing that out there right now.
Yeah, just throwing
Right
it
off
out.
the bat. I was going to dance around that for the next hour.
Yeah,
but
well,
now it's out there.
It's definitely the biggest change that I've had in a while, so it's definitely warranted some talk, that's for sure.
So what brought that on?
It's been a really tough month or a really tough year for me and my family. My dad was ill for a while, and I was staying here I've been here for about 3 years here in Saskatoon, like on my own. I bought a house 3 years ago, and it's just been a tough year. So it's time to just spread my wings and try it out for a while. I'm getting old now.
So what's in Toronto for you?
Actually, I don't really have a plan right now. I'm going completely planless. I feel like that's like what I need to do right now. Is just sort of throw it out there. But I don't really worry about getting jobs there or anything like that. Like I know there'll be a lot of work for singing, and that's what I plan to do. So, and just co-write and get into the studio right away and start a new record because it's time.
So that was going to be my next segue. Why Toronto?
I'm sorry, I'm wrecking all
Vancouver?
your.
No, you're just doing my job for me.
Why instead of Vancouver? Did you say?
Yeah.
Well, Toronto's just where it's at right now in Canada. And after Toronto, I think I'll probably step up and move somewhere even bigger, maybe New York or, I don't know, there's so many opportunities and so many options right now for musicians.
But your moniker is the Saskatoon Sweetheart. You're
Yeah.
gonna try to take that with you? You're gonna try to take that to Toronto?
I think it follows me everywhere.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
You're not gonna change it up? Toronto Temptress or something?
I don't really go around saying I am Saskatoon Sweetheart, so it's not something I really use as a moniker, but I hope no one forgets it because I'm not a jerk.
So you're leaving Saskatoon, but Saskatoon's not leaving you?
Still here, yeah. I'll be
Awesome.
here over the summer, tons and tons and tons, and it's not some place that I can just leave behind and not think about it anymore. It's my home.
Last time I interviewed you, McNally Robinson, you just come back from overseas shooting a video.
Right, in Peru, I think I was.
Peru?
Yeah. It was for my second single, and I went to Peru. It was like one day in Toronto equaled a whole week in Peru, and my director sort of 2 weeks before we were supposed to do it all in Toronto, we had everything all worked out for the idea, the video treatment was all planned out and everything. And my director called me up and she's like, that one day in Toronto is exactly the same as 1 week in Peru. And I was like, let's go to Peru. So we found a Peruvian actor down there and just went to town. It was a really, really good time.
What was the video synopsis?
Like me traveling the world and falling in love with a guy. And
You kind of mentioned it was a little steamy.
It
Were you being sarcastic? Or?
No, it's totally steamy.
Really?
It's pretty steamy.
That's...
Well, for me, like...
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you're kind of known for your wholesome image. What's a steamy video for Theresa Sokyrka?
I don't know. There's like a smooch at the end that's pretty intense.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got regular play on much more music?
Much more, yeah.
Much
Much
more
more
music?
music, yeah.
Feedback
for
from the video?
Really good feedback from the video. The shots were amazing. The cameraman and the director and the producer were just amazing. That was the only people that went with me were those three people. So it was the scenery in Peru alone, it's so easy to get a wonderful shot there because there's so many beautiful sights to see.
I always brag I have the coolest job in the world, but there's Theresa Sokyrka here who gets to go down to Peru and make out.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough to beat.
Well, it was tough work,
I can imagine. Took 2 or 3 takes for the last scene.
Yeah.
Okay, last album came out how long ago?
Oh, God. August 2006. So it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Update on that?
Well, the album's, it's still selling here and there. It's been going really well. But I did have a Christmas album that was sort of like something I did with, when I got the Matt Dusk tour. I went on tour with Matt Dusk at the end of December last year and decided to come out with a Christmas album. It was something I just threw together right away and it came together. Josh Palmer actually helped me out.
There it is. Every single episode we talk about Josh Palmer.
Well, he has a great studio. It's really
great. He has never been on the show. He was supposed to be the very first person.
Oh,
Josh Palmer and the Rebellion. Episode 1 was supposed to be him. And he was sick that day, and it just kept putting push back. Here we are, episode 12 or 13. I think it's 12. No Josh Palmer yet.
Come through.
However, every episode, there's ties to Josh Palmer. And I've actually made it into a game. We're going to play it a little later.
It's like the Kevin Bacon game.
There it is, the 3 Degrees of Josh Palmer.
Oh, my God.
I guess we should play that now.
That is the
That didn't take
funniest
too
thing.
long. Okay, I was going to say, other than the Canadian Idol ties, I bet you've played with someone or worked with someone who's either played with someone or worked with someone who's worked or played with Josh Palmer. But there it is, directly. Kind of the 1 degree of Josh Palmer.
Probably about 50 people I know that have played with Josh. I would say, he's
So the
been
guy's
around.
made here.
Yeah.
He keeps telling me about a studio. What's the
It's
appeal
awesome.
of the studio?
It's a great vibe. It's right above Amigos,
Mm-hmm.
which is great because I hang out there all the time. But it's a really great place. Like he's got some really great gear, and it's just an awesome vibe to be in. No stress, you know. I hate going into studios and it's like this.
Everyone's looking at their watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, he seems pretty mellow.
yeah. He is. He's got great rates too.
Great
He
rates.
doesn't rip you off.
Good
It's good.
stuff.
Yeah, it's cheap. Well, cheapish, you know.
Wow, I feel like we blew that. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I was just gonna call for it again. We really
That
gotta.
is
I
hysterical.
spent all day doing that. No, just kidding.
You
I
did
don't.
a
I don't
really
have
good
the. I don't
job.
have the talent to do that. Bob
That's
Dyke, our
hysterical.
graphics guy.
Josh is gonna be stoked on that.
There's Josh Palmer's face. There's snow. There's a thermometer. I mean, there's not much. Can't get much better than that.
No, you can't.
Okay, next album. Are you gonna wait till you hit Toronto?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some co-writing with some people, and I have some ideas.
Lined any up, or is it all?
You know, I want to keep it a little bit secret, but one that I'd really like to. Andy Mays from the Skydiggers is a good friend of mine, and I hope to work with him in the future, in the very near future in Toronto. He's there, so.
Still can't get over the fact you're leaving. I think I'm taking that harder than anybody else here.
Oh man, you know it's time.
It's time?
I was bummed out for a while, but it's just time.
Yeah.
It's time to try it out. Yeah,
Think fans in Toronto are going to make you giant teas. That was actually donated by a fan.
Yeah,
I told
it's
him
really
you were going to be on
beautiful.
Stripped Down, and he told me he had the perfect thing to hang.
It's perfect.
Jen Lane had the Planet S cover
I saw
blown
her
up,
cover. Yeah, I saw it.
and I thought, well, we got to do something for Theresa, and there it was. All my prayers answered.
Well, it's great. I love it. I don't know if they'll make teas for me in Toronto. I hope so.
Maybe T's and S's.
Maybe.
That's the next step. You'll get both letters. Saskatoon can't touch that, so
That's
you're making
right.
the right choice if you're getting both the T and the S down there.
I'd like to point out that is also made of wood.
It is.
It's not just a plastic tea.
I didn't make it, but I did put those hooks in the top
What
to
about the
hang it.
stars? Did you put the
No,
stars?
I didn't put the
in?
stars on, and honestly, I'm not that good at manual labor. Almost threw out my back twisting that. And I was like, if it was anybody else, I would have abandoned it halfway through. But Theresa deserves better. She deserves the giant T.
Oh, jeez.
What are we gonna hear tonight? Are you gonna
I'm gonna
are you gonna
play
blow our
some new
minds with
ones.
some, there we go.
I'm gonna play some new tunes.
That's like the curse of Stripped Down. And I'm not saying don't play new tunes, but I always like research the older stuff, and then no one ever plays it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm always going in there cold with new music. But that's fine. That's the best part of the show, really.
For sure. Well, that first one was from my second album.
Yep.
So you can talk about that if you want.
Let's do it. What was the first song there, Theresa?
It's called Waiting Song.
Okay.
It was actually the last song that I added to my second record. It just came out of nowhere. I hadn't even written it until my second stint in the studio. And then the producers were just like, yeah, we love it. Let's put it on. And then it ended up being the first single. It's just crazy how things like that happen.
And that one got radio play, definitely.
Yeah, it did. It
Yeah.
actually did really well on radio. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's cue up another song, I guess.
Okay.
What are we gonna hear next?
Well,
Are you doing a new one?
yeah.
I'm a little afraid for your new ones because when you were practicing that one, you missed a couple lyrics.
I
And you're
know.
like, what's that line again?
You know, it's weird. The more you play the songs that you write, the less easy it is to remember them.
I'll take your word for that. I
Honestly,
wouldn't.
it's true. This is a new one, actually. This is a song that I wrote last week about a conversation that I had with my sister. My parents are moving out of their house, and I'm moving out of my house, and my parents are moving into my house, so it's like this big, huge
Sounds like a sitcom.
change. I know, it kind of does. But,
Maybe
you
Shaw
know,
would
they've
pick it
been
up.
living in their place for 17 years, so there's a lot of things to shuffle through, and it's been a really difficult and crazy time. But I wrote this. My sister's living in Victoria, so it's pretty hard for her to realize what's going on back here. But
Does it have a working title?
not really. No,
Untitled one?
I guess.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll call it
untitled one.
Song 2 tonight on Stripped Down.
Morning call put into you makes me feel something brand new. You teach me patience across the line. so hard on yourself, you said. It's a big enough climb for us both to tread. Just find the path that unwinds instead, and it'll all be gone tomorrow. Worry about the changes, how our lives can take rearranging, unboxing up history. Some of it's still news to me. There's years of things collected. Some of it I've even resurrected. Haven't a clue what I expected. Don't be so hard on yourself, you say. It's a big enough climb for us both ways. Just find the path that unwinds instead, and it'll all be gone tomorrow. Don't be so hard on yourself, you said. It's a big enough climb for us all to tread. Just find the path that unwinds instead, and it'll all be gone tomorrow.
Theresa Sokyrka. And that again, no working title just yet.
Not
Something
yet.
off the upcoming album. We'll call it the Toronto album.
Okay,
I'll try not to say that too disappointed. But I can't blame you. Can't blame you for moving on.
thanks.
This is where it gets weird. I have to throw to the first commercial break, and I was going to tease with playing 3 Degrees of Josh Palmer when we get back, but that's already gone. So you don't know what's coming up next, but it's going to be gold. Maybe not 3 Degrees of Josh Palmer gold, but gold. We're taking our first commercial break. We'll be back real quick. More Stripped Down right after this.
Stick around, more Stripped Down after this. Voted Best Clothing Store for 2006-2007, Ultimo Yuramoda features high-speed fashion such as Belle Staff and J. Lindenberg. Ultimo doesn't follow the trends, they introduce them.
Providing a wide range of instruments under one roof, Mother's Music has been operating out of Saskatoon for 17 years. With music lessons, instrument rentals, and in-store financing, Mother's Music will fill your local music needs.
Introducing Wing Street in 7 flavors, from honey barbecue to spicy barbecue to heat seeker, delivered to your door by Pizza Hut. Wing Street, you've been warned.
For 10 years, SIGA has been strengthening the lives of Saskatchewan and First Nations people through employment, economic growth, and community relations. With 5 casinos in the province, SIGA offers a Saskatchewan First Nations gaming experience.
Tune in to Remote Control Cinema every Wednesday and Friday as host Simon Hyatt reviews the newest movies to hit Shaw on demand. Plus, classics you may have missed the first time. Remote Control Cinema, only on Shaw.
Rolco Radio in Saskatoon. C95, Rock 102, and News Talk 650 are proud supporters of Saskatoon's local music scene, including Shaw's Stripped Down.
Affinity Credit Union is a proud sponsor of community programming. Affinity Credit Union. Our difference is personal.
Escape Sports. Longboarding, freeline skating, kiteboarding, extra cycling, sidewalk surfers, Heelys, low-key jackets. Escape Sports. 339 Avenue A South. escapesports.ca. We're back. You're watching Stripped Down. Theresa Sokyrka in the Shaw TV studios tonight. No. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Theresa
yes.
Sokyrka
And
in
I
the
even
Shaw
wore my
studios.
new shoes for you.
That is amazing. New shoes and everything.
They're really old, actually. Don't get too close.
Can we fill the next 45 minutes talking about the shoes?
Sure.
Where'd you get those shoes? Someplace in Saskatoon, I bet. Bet
Old
you can't
Navy.
get shoes like that in Toronto. No?
Yeah, you probably can,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm just joking. You're ready to rock out, though. I love the jeans. You got the whole look down tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks. I appreciate you noticing.
You, again, were under the weather. I kind of figured you might come in with your hair in a ponytail and like sweatpants. I was like, hey, we'll have lots of cover shots tonight
Trust
if
me,
she's looking rough.
10 minutes ago, that's what I was wearing.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Let's take you back. Let's go back in time. This is the Theresa Sokyrka story. Where did it all begin? Here's the earliest thing I could find. You wrote a song, When Chickens Climb Up Ladders.
That is
And you were 24 or 4?
I was 4.
4, okay. I was one or the other. I was a
4 or
misprint.
5. That one fact alone is going to bite me in the butt for the rest of my life.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny because
I assumed it was some sort of analogy on World War or something, no?
No, it was quite simple, really, just how the farmer was really ticked off that the chickens were crapping in the yard. And
See? It was there. You just have
and
to
I
look
don't know
for it.
why he wouldn't be angry they were climbing up ladders, because that's way more unlikely for a chicken.
Were they dropping from up top of the ladders?
No,
No.
I didn't get that far.
Maybe on the next album.
Maybe.
Moose Jaw, is that correct?
That's where I was born, yeah.
Okay. And when did you move to the big city here, Saskatoon, the big metropolis,
Well, it was...
which is about to look like Moose Jaw in comparison once you go to Toronto?
Yes, probably. Not quite that bad. But I moved here when I was 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from there it was Holy Cross High School.
Yeah, St. Goretti for Ukrainian immersion, and then I
Okay.
went to Holy Cross High School.
Lots of fans of Holy Cross High School here.
Lots of
on
fans?
the crew.
Woohoo! Ow.
There's some Crusaders here. Best memories from Holy Cross? I was a marauder. I was down the street from you.
Yeah, okay.
We were the ones that lost you in every sport. That's what I remember about
I never
Murray.
played sports. I played rugby in grade 11 and 12 for a while. Nobody knows that about me.
There it is. You heard it here first.
He's stripping me down.
Rugby.
Rugby. It's a pretty interesting sport.
Does that ever come out in any of your songs?
No,
No, it should.
it should.
Like do an angry
A
like
rage
rap.
song,
You
yeah.
should do an angry rage rap about rugby. And how
Raking
it just
people's
gets
shins.
So angry.
Yeah.
Angry all the time. Okay. Good times in Holy Cross though?
Yeah, I mean, high school's hard no matter what. I feel sorry for people in high school now. It's probably way harder now than it was then.
What do you base that on?
I don't know. It's just harder. There's more things going on in the world to listen to, and I don't know. It's just a harder place to grow up, I think.
Fair enough.
I feel sorry for my friends who have kids, just because it's going to be harder even still.
Tell me about it.
I don't want to get all depressing, but it's true.
Let's pick it back up. Let's talk about the musical career. Okay, out of Holy Cross, how does this get going?
Well, after Cross, I went to University of Saskatchewan for 1 year, and I realized that I wasn't really cut out for university, and then went to Red Deer into music college there.
Okay.
And sort of realized, my second year that I was there, I sort of went back to the whole worrying that I wouldn't have anything to fall back on, if I chose music as my career.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a freak out in my second year and went back into something. I went sort of into the education mode. And I don't know, like, then I just gave up on education altogether and was just like, I'm going to get out there and play and move to Edmonton. And from there, it sort of just, happened.
Speaking of high school, let that be a lesson to all you kids out there who think education is the way to go.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I'm just joking. Okay.
It's really competitive.
Early, were you in a band, anything like that?
I
to
was. I
start?
used to be in a band called Fagoo.
Okay.
And it was an all original folk jazz fusion band.
Okay.
So you can imagine how much people enjoyed our music. Like, we had some crazy fans, but there were a lot of people that would see our gigs and be like, what are these people doing and what kind of music is this? So it was pretty interesting. That's when I first really realized in my life that I needed to be more of a generalist as a musician. Like, I didn't want to specialize in just one thing. Like, I had taken all these jazz courses to learn how to be a generalist as a musician. So it was like, that was the biggest turning point for me, realizing, like, not everybody likes this music, so you got to find a way to make some money here.
Okay.
But that's...
What was your answer to that?
Just learning how to sing pop, learning how to sing folk, learning how to sing jazz, and like getting chops, you know, like being good at it.
Okay.
Being able to do backups at the drop of a hat if need be. Or, like, I started really challenging myself to do things that were out of my comfort zone.
I want to continue with peeling back the layers of Theresa Sokyrka, the untold story, but we need another song.
Okay.
If you're cool, if the voice is still holding, the flu's not bringing you down.
You know, it's...
Okay.
It's
If you want to
fine.
stop mid-song, let me know. Just point to me and I'll start talking and asking you questions again, okay?
Sure. This is
Song
one
number
from
3.
my second record
Okay.
as well. It's
I love
called...
how you call them records.
Oh, yeah?
That makes me feel good.
What are most CDs, I
Albums,
guess?
CDs.
Albums, records.
You can hear this on your MP3 player. That's what the kids say now, I guess.
I guess. This is a tune called Sandy Eyes. It's probably one of my, the one I still like to play the most.
And is
often,
that what
so.
had the video?
Yes, you are. Ow!
I did research.
Good
It's
work.
rare, but I did it.
That was the Peru video.
Is it weird ending the song without making out?
No.
Like in the video? No?
No,
Okay, good.
The song has nothing to do with making out.
All right.
Here it is.
Woke up this morning with my head in my hands and my sandy eyes. Poured myself some coffee, faded off to bed, never get ahead. And when I hear you call my name, well, I fear that my life will never be the same. And when I hear you call my name, well, I'll be okay again. Living changed back when you said goodbye. I didn't want to cry. Memories of who I was when you were around just get me down. And when my thoughts are of you, I feel I'm living in the past. All the traits I've borrowed from you seem to be real at last. And when I hear you call my name, well, I fear that my life will never be the same. And when I hear you call my name, well, I'll be okay again. Woke up this morning with my head in my hands and my sandy eyes.
Sandy Eyes by Theresa Sokyrka.
Yes.
I really want to clear this up. I made a comment right before you started playing about ending the song by making out. If anybody missed the first segment in the show before the first commercial break, it was because you made a video, and at the end of the video, you kiss. So I'm sure that if you missed that part, that original conversation, that came off really creepy. So I'm glad I cleared that up. We want to move up to a little show called Canadian Idol.
Okay.
But first, I read you used to busk.
Yeah, I did for a while
What's
in
it like
Edmonton, and I did some busking in Scotland when I was there. It's actually easier to busk in Europe than it is in Canada.
Do you ever think about picking it up again? Because I go to the Fringe every year, and every year there's that really crazy, talented little girl that plays the violin.
Oh, yeah,
and
I know
she
who you're
rakes it
talking
in.
about,
I'm
yeah.
thinking if Theresa Sokyrka sets up right in front of her, you don't have to work for like 2 months. Like you could totally shut that girl down.
Hey,
Theresa,
that's a good idea.
busking at the Fringe. You should think about that. Maybe you could come back for one night only.
You got it.
We do have to take another commercial break. When we come back, this is going to be so much fun. We're going to talk Canadian Idol briefly, but I want to turn the tables because you were always judged on Canadian Idol. That's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah.
I want you to be a judge. We're going to have like a stripped down version of Canadian Idol. We're going to take a look
Wow.
at a local band, an Aiden Bowman band I had the privilege of checking out not too long ago. Made up of some of the volunteers right here.
Cool.
On the stripped down crew. They're called Pirate Friday, is that correct?
That's a good name.
Pirate Friday. We're going to judge Pirate Friday after this quick break. More Theresa Sokyrka stripped down. Coming up after this.
Don't go anywhere. More stripped down after this.
Shaw is your only source for continuous local community news, information, and weather. Join Ann Perry and the rest of the Shaw Information Update crew daily as they bring you the latest news and information about our community. With weather updated every 10 minutes and the Shaw Information Update every half hour, Shaw is your one stop for local news and information. The Shaw Information Update, only on Shaw.
Voted Best Clothing Store for 2006-2007, Ultimo Euromoda features high-speed fashion such as Belle Staff and J. Lindenberg. Ultimo doesn't follow the trends, they introduce them.
Providing a wide range of instruments under one roof, Mother's Music has been operating out of Saskatoon for 17 years. With music lessons, instrument rentals, and in-store financing, Mother's Music will fill your local music needs. Escape Sports. Longboarding, freeline skating, kiteboarding, extra cycling, sidewalk surfers, Heelys, low-key jackets. Escape Sports. 339 Avenue A South. EscapeSports.com. Ralco Radio in Saskatoon. C95, Rock 102, and News Talk 650 are proud supporters of Saskatoon's local music scene, including Shaw's Stripped Down.
The Shaw Sports Update takes you into the game from Little League to the big leagues. Covering everything from curling, hockey, baseball, and football, we've got all the bases covered. Whether you're a fan of the Blades, Huskies, Hilltops, Yellow Jackets, or Accelerators, Simon Hyatt brings you the latest information on the teams, athletes, and volunteers in our community. The Shaw Sports Update with Simon Hyatt, only on Shaw.
You're watching Strip Down. It seems weird every time I say it, but here we are. Theresa Sokyrka in the Shaw Studios tonight. Strip Down, episode 12. This has been a lot of fun today. Okay, Theresa.
Yes.
Again, as I alluded to before the break, you were on Canadian Idol. People were judging you. I want to take what you've learned, and we are going to judge a band. This is a local band. This is a band made up of some of the volunteers that help put Strip Down together and on the air each and every week. Pirate Fridays, is that correct, guys? Pirate Friday or Fridays? Days, plural. Here we go, we're getting her. I don't know if the mics are still on, but there we go. That was Tyson on the drums there. There's Jenny on the keyboards, Dan's on guitar, Bryn on bass. You got a sample?
Yeah, I sure.
You got a sample?
certainly
All
have,
right.
yeah.
Let's go back to Theresa here in the studio, guys. There's Bryn right there,
Nice
bringing the
shot.
bass. There it is.
That's a sweet
Pirate
bass.
Fridays.
Pirate Fridays. I mean, it sounded pretty good. It's hard to tell on the old camera mic there.
Yeah, it
but
really was. It wasn't doing them justice, but
no, but they
they
sound
had a
pretty
good look.
Yeah, they definitely do.
So if you were judging the Aiden Bowman Battle of the Bands, I know that it's pretty hard to judge one.
I'd have to
against
be
none.
there, first of all. I wouldn't be able to do it over the TV. I've always admired chicks that are bass players. I got to admire that.
This is Bryn.
Sweet.
And
Thanks
Jenny
for it.
on the keyboards.
That's awesome.
Say something about a Dan's guitar. That was turning a lot of heads in the
Oh,
shop
yeah,
offices today.
It's good stuff.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's nice guitar.
If you were going to give Pirate Fridays some, direction, some advice, what would you say to them?
I don't know what to say, really. Just
Take
try
the
to-
band and go to Holy
Try
Cross.
to get along.
Try to get along. Good stuff. That seems like an odd segue.
Yeah.
Try to get along.
Try to
Were
get
there
along.
issues in Theresa's past where maybe band members didn't get along?
I think with any band, there's always issues. There's strong personalities, and it's just hard. Most musicians have strong personalities, and they're very, get hurt easily. They're very fragile. So it's easy to not get along in a band. Yeah.
Good stuff. So what toughened you up?
Having a lot of bands that I didn't get along with.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I had great bands when I was growing up. What toughened me up? I don't know. I guess people have been really nice to me. I've never really had anyone be really mean. But, in this business, you just have to ignore the bad. You have to have a thick skin.
Are you sick of talking about Canadian Idol? Be honest.
I
Do people even ask you about it anymore, or are you past it?
No. They definitely ask
Okay.
me about it. Yeah, I'm not sick of it at all. Like, I think that the whole thing that I feel is, I would be biting the hand that fed me.
Okay.
Like it's
A lot of people do, though. I actually interview quite a few people that come through
But
Saskatoon.
for me, it was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like for some people, not naming any names, it might have not been the perfect thing for them. And for me, it just helped me get my foot in the door and meet a bunch of people and just be my crazy self. It's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody.
Are you still a fan of the show?
I watched it. I watched it this week.
Okay.
But I'm not a not fan of it.
Okay.
Like I don't really make a point of like putting my whole schedule around watching it or anything like that. But I'm stoked for the kids that are on there. Like, it's such a great experience, and I would never say anything bad about it because I just have no reason to.
I'm not asking you to. I find, though, personally, the negative and the positive of reality TV like that is that it never gets old, right?
Yeah.
But
like the
with-
making fun of the people who suck?
No,
Oh.
just the show in general, because there's always new
Oh.
people and everything, and it keeps it fresh each season. It never gets old, but at the same time, it becomes a little less relevant each season. Like, do
Yeah.
you find that? Like,
I'm not sure.
I watch Survivor and Canadian and American Idol, and honestly, I can probably only name 3 winners of each at this point, and
Yeah.
I've probably watched every season.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I don't really know how to answer that
How
question.
cool is it to be one of like the first few big names coming out of there?
It's
'Cause
pretty
those
cool.
those are the ones that stay,
Yeah.
Like for Survivor, no one will ever forget Richard Hash.
Well, but it's what you do, how you apply what you've learned once you're on the show. Like, everybody has a chance at doing something great at the end of it, but you just have to apply what you've learned in the whole process to what you're going to do afterwards. Like, in my case, I chose to go independent, and it was a completely unheard of thing. Like, no one was like going independent at any point in time, even in American Idol, It was, but it's something that worked for me, and it's all just about how you use it. But some people, it's not the best thing. Like, people who are in bands, like, it may not be the best thing for you.
Okay. We'll close the door on the
Yeah, I
Idol
don't
talk.
mind talking about it, though.
Best memory, though, start to finish.
It's probably had to do with, it's hard because everything sort of blends together, but Lionel Richie was like a big deal.
Yeah,
meeting
what
Lionel.
was his quote? He kind of had an odd quote, I thought. Actually, I wrote that down.
Something about
He said,
the soul of a black
yeah,
lady
he
in
said
me or
you have a
something?
soul of a black woman.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
were you like, thanks, Lionel Richie?
Well, I think I thought it was so
Yeah?
awesome because he was telling me that I had soul,
cool.
in my voice, which is cool.
He could have ended at that, though. You have soul.
You have soul.
To each their own. I guess if someone said that to me, I'd be a little weirded out.
Yeah.
Fair
maybe
enough.
for you.
Maybe for me. Get to another song.
I thought it was cool. Yeah, sure. This is a brand new one too.
Okay. Untitled number 2 tonight.
It's called Prairie Winds, actually. It's definitely about my home here.
That's good. You're taking that to Toronto?
Yeah, taking it to Toronto. It's a tough one to sing still, but just because it's so new.
And you're sick.
And I'm kind of sick, yeah.
Okay. Do your best.
Dust scattered on the streets that I call home. Must have mattered when the sun beat down on the snow. The air is warmer now that spring has had a day. Change approaches within her now that I'm on my way. Prairie winds, please blow me home. It's time for me to be alone. Prairie winds, please blow me home. It's time for me to be alone. Skies are bigger now that the sun has set its rays. She holds you close to her, so close you feel her pain. Her want to grow in you as planted only weeds. To find an answer of what you want, not knowing what she needs. Prairie winds, please blow me home. It's time for me to be alone. Prairie winds, please blow me home. It's time for me to be alone. Walls I've built here are built from sticks and stones. Words upon them, they break my aching bones. I'm getting older now, brittle is my mind. To believe in something I faked through the whole time. Prairie winds, please blow me home. It's time for me to be alone. Prairie winds, please blow me home. It's time for me to be alone.
That's fantastic. You know, I've been talking about your upcoming move to Toronto kind of sarcastically through the whole show, but you're not even gone, and that song sounds like you're homesick.
Oh, totally. I'm already homesick, for sure.
Crazy.
For sure, for sure.
So,
It's going to be a hard move, and I'm trying to, like, downplay it a bit because I'm leaving my parents and a lot of wonderful things and a lot of wonderful people. But you have to do it in your life. You have to take risks. Exactly.
Fair enough. Well, you're
Exactly.
no stranger to risks.
That's for sure.
Okay, we're gonna go in a new direction here really quickly. Okay. Sokyrka means hatchet.
Little hatchet, yeah.
Little hatchet.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part of the show where I waste a lot of time searching on the internet. So I Googled the heck out of Hatchet.
Okay.
Hatchet's a novel by Gary Paulson, as well as a B movie made in 2006.
Oh, really? Is it a horror movie?
It's an absolute horror movie. Which version of Hatchet reminds you more of your life? Okay, I'm going to take you through them. Okay, this is the novel by Gary Paulson. It's about a story of a boy named Brian on a trip to the Canadian oil fields to spend the summer with his dad. The pilot of the airplane he's traveling in suffers a heart attack and dies. Brian must land the plane in the forest. Brian learns to exist in the wilderness. He faces many dangers, including hunger, animal attacks, and even a tornado. This book gives the reader a better understanding of what it's like to survive in an untamed land.
I read this book in high school.
Seriously?
I absolutely most certainly did. Yeah.
Okay, so that's A.
Okay, that's A.
Or is Sokyrka, Theresa Sokyrka, more like the B movie? When a group of tourists on a New Orleans haunted swamp tour find themselves stranded in the wilderness, their evening of fun and spooks turns into a horrific nightmare when an urban legend of a deformed outcast picks them off one by one.
That's hard.
Which
With
is
a hatchet?
With a hatchet, apparently. Like, I'm gonna pretend like I don't own that movie, which I totally do.
When was that made?
2006, released in 2007. Funny story.
Probably
It actually
didn't last in theaters too
I don't think it was ever in theaters, but it actually stars the person who originally played Jason for the Friday the 13th.
Oh, no
The guy
way.
who played Candyman, and the guy that played Jason on, Freddy on Nightmare on Elm Street.
No way. Those are big wigs, dude.
They are.
I'd probably say A.
A, the wilderness, the plane crash.
I mean, they're both really extreme, but I'd say A more than likely than B.
Okay.
I'd rather crash a plane than get chopped up into bits.
Well, some survive. One of the girls always survives. Every single horror movie.
I think I'd be one of the girls who survives in a horror movie.
Yeah?
Some of the girls in horror movies, it's like, how can you be so dumb? What are you doing?
Just like that, we got ourselves a show. Awesome. Big fan of horror movies, Teresa?
Big fan, yeah.
Awesome. Yes.
But I really do gawk at the stupidity of the women on it. It's just like
how they run down the stairs, run through the kitchen, past all the knives and everything, and
answer
into
the
forest.
phone and into the forest. Yeah, into the forest.
You know, if my truck or car dies on the side of the road and I find an abandoned farmhouse, the first thing I do is not have a shower. I don't know why. That's not what goes through my head. I'm not like, I'm stranded.
I totally agree with you. I'm gonna have a shower. Yeah, no, that's a horrible idea.
But if they weren't cliches, it would take a lot of fun out. You know?
That's true.
If they got all MacGyver and they were like, okay, here's what we need to do. We need to, make this into a flare. You'd be like,
how did you know how to do that?
Just run through the forest. Anyways, we have to take our last commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about your website and what's going on there and get a couple more songs in. But we wrap up with Theresa Sokyrka. Still saying it right?
You got it, buddy.
When Strip Down wraps up right after this.
Tune into Shaw for TCU Place Arts and Entertainment weekdays only on Shaw. From celebrities to local artists, musicians, and performers, arts and entertainment reporter Curtis Anderson is your hookup for everything going on in the local entertainment scene. TCU Place Arts and Entertainment with Curtis Anderson, only on Shaw.
Voted Best Clothing Store for 2006-2007, Ultimo Euromoda features high-speed fashion such as Belle Staff and J. Lindenberg. Ultimo doesn't follow the trends, they introduce them.
Providing a wide range of instruments under one roof, Mother's Music has been operating out of Saskatoon for 17 years. With music lessons, instrument rentals, and in-store financing, Mother's Music will fill your local music needs.
Grab a rod and a reel and tune in to Shaw on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for FishingSaskatchewan.ca's Fishing Saskatchewan Show. Join Steve, Smitty, and Terry as they take you on a wild ride through Saskatchewan's lake country. FishingSaskatchewan.ca's Fishing Saskatchewan Show. Tuesdays, only on Shaw.
Ralco Radio in Saskatoon. C95, Rock 102, and News Talk 650 are proud supporters of Saskatoon's local music scene, including Shaw's Stripped Down.
Affinity Credit Union is a proud sponsor of community programming. Affinity Credit Union. Our difference is personal.
You're watching Strip Down. Theresa Sokyrka in the Shaw studios tonight. It's depressing me that we have to wrap this up.
Well, that's okay, man.
Not only is
I'll be
this
back.
arguably the biggest strip down we've done, I mean, Theresa Sokyrka, come on. And this is one of the last times the good people of Saskatoon are going to be able to see you play.
That's true.
So with a tear in my eye, here's the last full song we're getting from Theresa Sokyrka tonight. What do you have? This is the good one.
It's a new one called Cheap Wine.
Cheap Wine?
I think you'll like it.
Okay,
I think you'll like it, buddy.
I get the Kleenex.
Picking up a lost conversation never got us very far. I'll admit the sense of liberation if you'd let me park your car. Miles have passed from minute to minute. You'd admit you were never really in it. Your voice gets in my mind like cheap wine. Yeah, it gets in my mind like cheap wine all the time. Your voice gets in my mind like cheap wine. Measuring some rules of engagement. I'm just trying to find the best arrangement. Miles have passed from minute to minute. You admit you were never really in it. Your voice gets in my mind like cheap wine. Yeah, it gets in my mind like cheap wine all the time. Your voice gets in my mind like cheap wine. I've been drowning for way too long. Your voice surrounding my head wants to roam. Your voice gets in my mind like cheap wine. Yeah, it gets in my mind like cheap wine all the time. Your voice gets in my mind like cheap wine.
There it is. Theresa Sokyrka, you're watching Strip Down. We're wrapping up with Miss Sokyrka. Really quickly, information on you. Best place right now is your MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace is good.
Okay.
MySpace is pretty much only it.
And there it is. That's
Theresa
all correct.
Sokyrka. Yep.
Good stuff. What is going on with TheresaSokyrka.com? Can we talk about this really quickly?
Yeah, I just sort of decided that the way that the internet works right now, it's just not. I don't really need a website right now.
So we gotta fly through this really quickly, but I went to it and it says it's not there, but here's some related topics. Sony. Any connection there?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, BMG Sony, yeah, because of Kalen Porter, I recorded on his album.
Okay. T.
T as in like
That's what, but I thought we also have a giant T behind you, so we'll get that
yeah.
one.
Okay.
Hermes.
Hermes.
The son of Zeus, also that
Hermes.
cute little elf from the Reindeer 1968 special that wanted to be a dentist, not an elf.
Oh my God,
Remember the stop
I don't
animation?
remember that.
I'm a plethora of knowledge. Thesis?
Thesis?
Like they're just throwing random stuff out here.
I think it's because of the spelling of my name.
That would explain the last one. Okay, I wasn't even going to say it, but it was an STD or an STI.
Themis?
No, the last one.
Oh, thesis.
Said try looking this up, and it was an STD. Thanks, Google. Hey, like seriously, you might want to get her back up online. They're probably punishing you
Can
because
we
they're not.
edit that out there? Just kidding.
Like, that was bizarre. Do you think they're punishing you for removing your website?
I don't know.
Google. What can you do?
Maybe.
Anyways, that's it. We're out of time.
And I have to sing another song?
You're going to Toronto. This is it. This is it for the good people of Saskatoon.
I'll be back. Don't be sad. I'll be back.
This is it. That's it for another episode of Stripped Down.
Thanks for having me, Curtis.
Thanks for watching. Thanks to tonight's crew, and thanks to our sponsors, Ultimo Yurimoto, Mother's Music, and Rolco Radio. Check us out online at www.myspace.com/strippeddownsask and search us out on Facebook. And of course, huge thanks to Miss Sokyrka. This show was pretty epic for the last time tonight. Theresa Sokyrka.
First call to wake me up in a while. I guess I've lost my style. Wouldn't you like to know? I hear your voice on the other line. I guess you're doing fine. You don't even care to know. I feel like I've built a mountain around me, like it was a necessity instead of crying to sleep. And here you're asking so easily for a lucky penny, a fall that I'd never leave. 'Cause what's mine is yours, and it didn't take long to find out what's yours is also yours. Because what's mine is yours, and it didn't take long to find out what's yours is also yours. Yeah. Feel like I've built a mountain around me, like it was a necessity instead of crying to sleep. And here you're asking so easily